Welcome one, welcome all to DeFi Crypto and Airdrops. I am Mike, aka Veteran Crypto, and this, as always, is Jeff, aka the Blockchain Report. How's it going, brother?
Going good. Got off work in time and made some dinner before I could jump on. And fed the kitties. So we're all ready to rock and roll, man, for a fun night. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, doing all right. Just pouring over some of the news, just kind of getting ready for whatever's going to happen tomorrow. It looks like the rest of
Oh,
this week
yeah.
we got some different data that's coming out. Possible rate cuts, and depending on who
Mhm.
you listen to, some people say that it's we're going to get rate cuts and crypto's going to pump to Valhalla, and you get some people that say we're going to get rate cuts and we're going to take a dump. So we're going to go over a little bit of what I was able to find, and people can make up their own mind. But
Oh, yeah.
oh,
We're
the
on Pumped
meeting.
Out Fun now, too, huh?
I was actually just looking, and I doesn't look like we're live on there.
Stream. Huh. I see. I see it's, huh. It shows that we're on there.
Like, you can see us.
No, on the studio. It shows that it's live.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it. We'll just roll without it. I'm sick of
Oh,
freaking fiddle fucking with that thing, man. And I'm not a big fan of meme coins and stuff anyway. But I mean, it is cool because I mean, it's a way that we could start making money for the show and stuff like that. But it's just it doesn't, the chat doesn't work right. It sometimes it streams, sometimes it doesn't. It's just like,
yeah.
what, fuck it. So
If it works, it works. If it doesn't,
exactly, exactly. So, hey, I just wanted to do a quick shout out to the chat. We got, Jay, we got Ellie, hey, I got Gary, Coach Packer. All right, what's up? What's up, brother? Hope you're feeling good, man. Hope you're feeling good. We got
hey,
Uncle
welcome,
Tommy and,
welcome.
Ray Sting. So, Coach Packer's Gary, the one that was doing bullshit and bourbon with me.
Oh, nice,
Yeah, yeah.
nice.
He had some medical issues, and so he had to take some time off, and but yeah, and then by the time he was feeling better, I we had started doing this show, and I wasn't doing bullshit and bourbon anymore. So
Well, it's nice to see you, Coach Packer or Gary. Yeah,
yeah, it's Gary. So
glad
yeah,
he's doing better.
he's huge into baseball. So he coaches a lot of like a decent, like, and I think him and his buddy are actually doing something with, I want to say it was a triple A or a double A team, and yeah. Anyway, they have a bunch of stuff
Oh,
going on. So
that's really cool.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I don't think we're
Because my
live on.
little brother coaches youth ball. His wee ball is what they call it, pre-t
Hmm.
ball, and then his daughter plays some little league baseball stuff. So yeah, we're family full of sports, all the sports, man.
Nice, nice. The creator's meta is faded already. All right. Okay, so Jay, the meeting. So the meeting tomorrow, I'm wanting to say it's like 2 p.m. Eastern. No, 2:30 p.m. Eastern. Powell is going to do the press conference and be announcing, what the hell is going to be going on. So the dovish signals, which would be good for crypto, uh, hints at further cuts in the next 3 to 6 months. It could ignite a risk-on rally, while hawkish tones emphasizing inflation risks from tariffs might trigger short-term volatility, or a sell the news event. So yeah, 2:30 Eastern time. So what? That would be 10 o'clock, 10:30 our time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh,
So 10:30 in the morning Pacific.
11:30. You said 2:30? It's
Yeah.
11:30. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's right. That's right. So 11:30 Pacific, 2:30 Eastern. We're gonna find out what these markets are gonna do, I guess, because they need to do something. It's this. I've been waiting for years for this bull market, and I've yet to see shit. I want to know what the fuck is this bull market people keep talking about.
Man, and that's the thing with all these institutions and stuff coming in. We knew it was going to be different. It's different. I mean, holy shit. Trying to hold a brother down, man.
Well, before we get cooking too far, if you want to go ahead and kick off the socials, and if you
Yeah.
could throw in a little bit of a pitch about Pump.Fun, if you guys don't mind going over to Pump.Fun and checking out our page over there and following us to kind of help us to
Hmm.
start monetizing this thing, so we can at least stop paying out of pocket for doing the show. Would greatly appreciate it.
Yeah. No, we appreciate everyone for joining us on this special Tuesday episode, DeFi, Crypto, and Airdrops, where me and Mike go live every Monday and Saturday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, and a special episode today. And there's a lot to cover. You can catch us here on YouTube and join us in the chat if you're on Twitter over here on YouTube. You can get in the chat a lot easier than you can on Twitter. So come check us out here. Follow our brother channels, Discover Crypto, Blockchain Basement, and me at the Blockchain Report. We cover everything you would need in the crypto space, from DeFi to news to, well, soon to be technical analysis and trading. We're still looking for somebody, and airdrop stuff. So Mike also goes live throughout the week on Wednesday and Friday with the DeFi Masterclass at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern with David and Jake Call. And you can catch their programs. There's a DeFi University and Metrics Finance. Great tools for your DeFi journey. All of that is in the description below. And Money Talks on Thursdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and 1 p.m. Eastern, where he's joined by TradFi Jeff and and Taylor, who's a law expert, estate planner. So we're bringing traditional finance, just regular finance, DeFi, airdrop. We're bringing everything for you. Also, yeah, like Mike said, we have our DeFi, crypto, and airdrops on pump.fun. And you can search us just by typing DeFi, crypto, and airdrops in the little search bar on the homepage, and you should be able to find us. This is our little landing page, and we're not taking anything out of this token sale or anything. I've actually bought like $50 worth yesterday, so I'm putting my money in there too. Just
I
a fun
bought a
thing.
little bit. Well, and just
Yeah.
so you all know, it's the token was a fair launch. I launched it, and all the tokens went out. We didn't keep any of the tokens, so
Mm-hmm.
all the tokens are in circulation. It was just so that we can stream on Pump.Fun. It wasn't a way for us to keep 70% of them or 60% of them and dump on everybody. Nothing weird like that's going on. So whatever you guys do with whatever you guys build out of the community is on you. We're not going to be dumping tokens. We're not going to be
No rug
doing
pulls.
anything crazy. You know how I feel about memes. So
Mm-hmm.
I did buy some. I do have. I think I bought like 3 million tokens or something for like $26 or something like that. Nothing crazy. So I think I own like 0.28% of the total tokens. There's nothing I'm gonna do that's gonna rug pull the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we don't want to have egg on our face like that, man.
No,
I don't ever
no.
want to be associated with nefarious bullshit like that. So, we do everything out of integrity. We're not
Mhm.
paid to promote anything, or talk about any of the projects that we cover on here. It's all for the love of the game and
Mhm.
the interest of crypto in general, and to help spread the word and teach others. And yeah, so you can find us on Twitter at the_only_DCA. You can catch Mike at Veteran4Crypto and me at the BCR142. And all of that is all the links are in the description below. We do have a Discord as well, where Vet has all of his amazing tracking sheets and ladder out strategies. And I would go to the general chat, but there's a little not safe for work. Thanks, Ellie. I was just, shit, I need to change this before I bring the, but thank you.
I should have warned you. I should have warned you.
I was like, I'm glad I saw that before I pulled it up. Oh,
Hey,
and it's all free.
Freedom guy. We're just the token we were talking about is we had to launch a meme on for the DeFi crypto and airdrops on Pump.Fun. So by all
In
means,
order to
don't.
stream.
Yeah, in order to stream, we had to launch one. So don't bother running out and buying it. I mean, if you want, go ahead.
Jay.
Like I was just saying, it's a fair launch. We don't own any. We didn't keep any of the tokens for ourselves. If you guys want to try to do something with it community wise, I'd be more than happy
Hmm.
to help out with that. But again, we're not going to be like rug pulling the thing.
Yeah, Jay. I know he said. But our Discord is free 99. A lot of great information, awesome people in there sharing the alpha. We even had the Avantis plug in there, AVNT, gave us a little hit. And those of you who got in it, I did not, Mike did not. We were just kind of
I
overlooked
did.
it.
I did, but late. I should have
Late, yeah.
listened to our community when they were freaking telling me about it. They were saying, "Hey, Mike, check this out. Hey, Mike, check this out. Hey, Mike," and I was like, I'm busy. I'll get to it. I'll get to it." And then it pumped. So I opened a small pool. I put a couple $100 in a AV&T pool. What was it? It's a
On last night's
AV&T.
show.
Yeah, USDC. I put
Yep.
like $200 in. So we'll see what I can do with it.
That was the Uniswap protocol one. It's on Base
Yeah,
Network, but you can go through
yeah.
VFAT, and if you see, there's two Aerodrome ones and the Uniswap one. So we jumped in the Uniswap one, given some nice rewards. I haven't looked at it today, but and Discover Investments Group, Discover Crypto, they have their free Discord channel with a lot of great alpha, and they also have a paid version where you can, or a paid subscription where you can access the trading chat, uh, all kinds of portfolio tracking and stuff. So a lot of great alpha, very helpful dudes in there. And I think they're streaming on pump.fun now. I tried to watch this morning, but I think the stream got cut early or something.
It was a weird time because I went to go watch the show too, and yeah, and it looked like it was like on later or like earlier. It was some weird time. I'm not sure what was going on.
Pump.fun might, yeah, some glitchiness, but man, you got this buff bunny here, man.
Uh,
This
you
guy's gonna
know,
whoop our ass, or is that a
he looked
kangaroo?
yoked. He looked yoked. I was like, we're ready to for pump. We're ready for pump.
We're ready
Getting
for.
our pump on.
But yeah, big news tomorrow, man. Right? We got
Yeah,
a.
yeah, yep. So, there's markets are basically, I guess, like right now, about 93, 94% chance of at least a 25 point basis cut. Looks like from the current 4.25 to 4.50. What else we got here? Federal funds rate range December 2004 after 5 consecutive holds amid sticky inflation and tariff concerns. This aligns with the Fed's June DOT plot projecting 2/4 point cuts by year end to reach a 3.9% rate.
Mm.
Though recent data like moderating CPI down to 2.9 in August and PPI supports easing without a full pivot. So again, 2:30 p.m. Eastern is when Powell is going on, and basically what people are saying is if he comes out and starts, using some dovish, verbiage, that markets could pump. But if he comes out and starts saying hawkish things like inflation is still sticky, tariffs are triggering short term a lot of inflation and things like that, then that potentially you're going to see markets take a dump. How much? Who knows? Crypto.
So,
I mean, with Bitcoin, it could be 5-10%. Potentially with alts, I mean, it could be 30% or more. I mean, it really just depends on, kind of how beat up the markets already are, and kind of how skittish people are in the markets are already.
yeah, are they doing just a 25 point? Because I know some people were claiming that it was gonna be 50.
They they don't know for sure. They're saying that there's a 95 94% chance of at least a 25 point basis cut, but there is the potential for an additional 25 basis points for a total of 50.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's going to be a one in October, right? Or November. When is the next one after
I
this?
believe
They're doing it
it.
pretty quick.
Let's see. Broader 2025 outlook includes 2 to 3 additional cuts, totaling 75 to 100 basis points per futures and economist splits, boosting liquidity and echoing the 2020 cycle, where post cut BTC surged from 4,000 to 60,000, or over 60,000. However, with inflation forecasts at 2.9% by August, I don't believe that bullshit. Inflation's a lot more than that. Um, what else? We got the macro global growth is projected at 3 to 3.3% for 2025. April US China tensions, US GDP growth is expected to decelerate to 1.5% from 2.8% in 2004 by end of year. Unemployment, that was a big one. Unemployment, those, I don't know
Oh,
if you all caught that. Did you
the
catch?
was that today or?
No, no, no. That was a little bit ago, but it was like 900,000 jobs or something like that. That the numbers were off. Before that, there were.
Oh yeah, the big recalculation and stuff, and they did
Yeah,
that last year, or yeah, because it was from last year to March, and then people were saying, "Oh, well, it was, look at what Trump did," and I'm like, "Dude, that's from 10 months out of the
yeah.
year was under the last administration. So how can you, yeah." Oh yeah.
No, it's gonna be interesting. All right, well, let's see what the chat has to say.
So this is
So Freedom Guy says that he thinks they're going to do a quarter point, so 25 basis points. And Jay, what's Jay say? Inflation is like a chick's body count, got to multiply by 3.
Oh man, that's good. That's good. Oh, 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 you frozen? You back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Or is
So,
that me? That's a good one.
oh
Yeah, so
shit.
you think
Oh, holy shit. I just had a freaking hawk like land on my rocking chair just like right outside my window and just freaking
oh
like
shit.
it just stared me down.
He's like, America?
Yeah, he's like, "America."
Don't
All
sing it too
right.
much. We might get demonetized, even though we're not monetized.
Yeah, right, right. That's the great thing is we can say and do whatever we want. I mean, the only thing it's going to affect is how many people view us, from swearing and stuff. It really is a double edged sword. Not being monetized,
Mhm.
there's a lot of freedom to it. That's kind of why I did the pump.fun thing because I was like, well, if people want to support us, they can just because we don't make money off people buying the token. But full disclosure, people buying and selling the fees, we get a portion of the fees from pump.fun. So we do make money from you guys buying and selling the token, but it's not
It's like a
like
liquidity pool.
yeah, yeah,
Sort
it's
of.
exactly what it's like. It's basically
Yeah.
like we provided the liquidity for the pool, and you guys swapping for the token gives us fees. So full disclosure, like I said, I just want to be transparent about it. But what we're hoping to do with it is at least make enough money to where the money that we pay for the streaming services and the video editing and all that stuff that we can stop paying out of pocket for that. Yeah, Ellie,
Yeah.
I fully agree. Freedom to say what you want. I mean, that's priceless. I would rather pay for all
Mhm.
this stuff and be able to, speak our mind than, have to always worry about getting demonetized and shadow banned. And that's why I don't go on TikTok. I know you can make a bunch of money there, but I refuse to go on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm gonna go pour myself a drink. I'll be right back, man.
Yeah. So, what else we got on the books? Oh, there's quite a few projects that had some airdrop announcements today. So there was a project that I had started on my wallet that was hacked, right? And my wallet was compromised last year, and I haven't I stopped farming this airdrop last year, and somehow I was still eligible. So I'm not really sure, and I'll pull up this project too, because oh, look at our beautiful faces. So this is a interesting one that will be launching soon. It's this OG Labs, the largest AI layer 1 for storage, compute, and scale. Now, I did not do any of this on my new wallet or anything. It was all last year, and somehow I'm still eligible. And there's a KYC requirement. So I was trying to go through this today to try and register, and I'm hoping the hacker didn't KYC somehow. It would be stupid if you tried to claim somebody's airdrop and KYC'd, right?
You like dox yourself as a thief.
But you can claim.
That'd be like robbing a bank, and they're like, "Hey, there's a reward for whoever turns the person in for robbing the bank," and he goes and turns himself in.
But this is the cool thing. I can claim the rewards on my other wallet. They have an option that says, "Oh, what wallet do you want to claim your rewards on?" So if they didn't have the KYC, I'd be kind of fucked, because that's what happened on a few other airdrops. One on Solana, there was one that I think it was D-Bridge was one of them that the hacker claimed on a different wallet, and I was just like, you motherfucker. So this is one that I don't know my allocation, because I haven't, there's issues with the KYC process, and since everybody's flooding the network, so I'm hoping, like, this is the first airdrop that I have qualified for in quite a while this year. So
Yeah,
I'm hoping that's
well, not just you, but like these projects have been kind of shitty for airdrops lately.
yeah. Yeah, they've been farming us, man. It's
Yeah,
like,
no, absolutely.
goddamn. Even some of the testnet stuff, you mint an
Me while
NFT.
I do my my plume spin.
Oh yeah. Some of these will have like an NFT mint, and then you can participate in the testnet, and then they're like, oh no, fuck you. We're not going to give you anything. Um, but one thing that is on like mainnet, so layer 3 is one project that I've been using for over 3 years now, or about 3 years now. And they had their season 7 where you complete campaigns and stuff. And I actually earned a couple $100, $100 during the season. It was like 2 months, I think. And then, and all of this I used from my previous layer 3 airdrop. So I used my airdrop to farm another season of airdrop. So I got $172 today. I think last season I got like $100. So that was pretty nice. Definitely feels good when I get some wins. And hopefully we can get a win for the fucking show wallet, man. I got so many damn projects I'm going through and juggling. I'm like, come on, I need one soon, so we can start this DeFi on the channel.
Well, yeah, no, I mean we've been trying to get that wallet started. Since we started this show, you had that idea of you doing airdrops, and then
I,
with whatever we got from that, I was going to DeFi, but
yeah, I
we
got
still haven't
these
gotten to the DeFi
projects right
part.
here. Nope, see, this is my tab right here. I got my browser with 3 different profiles. I got my DCA profile with our wallets. So, I'm farming all this stuff, and it's been a
Yes,
struggle.
man.
So,
1 week.
we got. Oh my God! Between you and D Martin in there, 8675309.
Oh, Jay just poured some Eagle Rare. All right, Vicky, we're gonna get this party started. All right, so anybody out there,
Ooh,
if you got it, drink it. If you smoke it, if you got it, smoke it. Vicky,
damn! I got my
we're gonna,
tequila in the
we're just gonna,
kitchen.
yeah, we're gonna have a little late night crypto talk, and we'll just kind of see what the chat has to say. And all right, I got plume points. All right, I'll take
Got
it.
the plume points.
At some point,
Oh,
season 2 is going to end. At
yeah.
some
Real quick, so this project Sentient AI, um, they have. Let me go back here.
Devon Martin.
So,
He was the one that was telling me about Avant that I didn't listen.
oh yeah, yeah. Thanks for the alpha, man.
Yeah, no,
Um,
he dropped the alpha. I ignored it.
so Sentient AGI making open source AI win. They have this grid feature that you can access through this link for the next 24 hours, and they're giving like first you had to do a pre-registration sign up, and they email you a code, and I did not get the email. I don't remember if I signed up or not. And also on crypto rank, if you go on crypto rank and you see like early signups or early registration, you can sign up for projects and get early access. But this one is kind of gated, so people are trying hard to get in and participate. So there's like a sentient chat, and you can talk to AI and stuff and build up points. And I haven't gone into this yet, so I don't know exactly the depth of it, but you do only have 24 hours to gain access from, well, 19 hours now. So what's we got any
I'm laughing at our chat at our Discord. Friggin', I
uh
mean, it's been like crickets all day, and then friggin' Ellie posts, and all of a sudden it's just like fucking
getting
everybody comes out of the
stumped.
frickin' woodwork. It's like you bunch of degens.
Chaos, pure chaos.
I know. It's like you freaking twisted sons of bitches.
I
All
love
right.
it. Oh
So
yeah, so this grid contains the world's largest network of intelligence containing agents, models, data sources, frameworks. There's so much AI stuff that we've been coming across. But if you're interested in this, something I came across today, I mean, I've been in this project Discord for months and months now, and now they're really starting to ramp up. So yeah, check it out. I shared it on my page down here, and
all right.
yeah. What else you got, man? You
So
got some updates for us? Some good
yeah,
market
yeah.
movement
Let's.
you
I'm gonna
got?
just do my usual suspects. We'll pull up some DeFi Llama and some RWA.xyz and just kind of see
Do my
how they're
spit.
looking right now with everything about to kick off to mañana for my Espanol speaking viewers. So
So 2:30 is when Powell speaks, or is it when they
that's what it
actually?
says. 2:30
Okay.
p.m. Eastern time is he's supposed to come out and speak words, and depending on what words he speaks, the markets are going to do something. So, yeah, DeFi Llama. So, pretty much it's been quiet. Those of us in DeFi, I mean, we're there's definitely places to earn. There's always places to earn. Don't get me wrong,
Mhm.
but it's been relatively quiet. You kind of have to go out and find whatever the hot narrative is at the moment. So like lately that AV&T, the Avant, actually this
Buntis?
Avantis, this protocol right here. So some great APYs, and some APRs, on stables even. So the USDC, I mean, it's still when I reported on this yesterday. I mean, it's still holding strong at 21% locked boosted APR. So you can stay relatively liquid and stake for 5.83%. But if you lock for 6 months, if you lock your stables for 6 months, you can earn 21%. So basically, for that six
Oh,
months, you'll make 10%.
on
So
stables.
yeah, on stables.
Nice.
So for it, do your own research on the platform. It is on Base. I'm a huge fan of Base, as anyone that watches us knows. But Avantis is a relatively new protocol. I just became aware of it recently when, thanks to D Martin. Um, but I'm liking. I'm hoping that this sticks around when I start DCAing out with my stables, because this will definitely be one of the places I'll be sticking them. If if after doing my due diligence on this, if it's especially if it's non-custodial. Actually, you know what?
Oh.
Let's
And they
bring
have a
up.
perp trading feature too, if for those degens out there.
They have what?
They have a perpetuals trading
Oh yeah,
feature too. Yeah, if you're a degen trader and you don't want to deal with the KYC, MEXC, and all that shit. So, ah, Miles, what's
yeah. We're
up?
gonna we're gonna bring Miles up and ask him about Avantis.
Hi, what's been on your mind today?
Hey, how's it going, Miles? We're live with Jeff and the crew out in crypto degen land. But I just had a quick question. We were talking about a new base network project called Avantis. Can you see that?
Going pretty well, actually. And yeah, Avantis. Got it. Let me pull it up real quick. All right. Okay. Yeah. Looks like a lending protocol on base. Pretty new, still in beta, right? Would you want to know about it?
That's what it looks like. If actually was wanting to see if you could look into the documentation and let us know, is it a uh, do they are they non-custodial or do they custody your assets?
Good question. Okay. Digging into the docs now. It's a little tricky. They position themselves as non-custodial, but it looks like they use a smart contract based system for managing collateral, which, you know, isn't inherently bad, but it does introduce some smart contract risk. It's not a simple you hold the keys situation, gotcha. They've got a pretty detailed explanation of how it works in their security section, though. Want me to pull out the key bits?
Actually, if you could look specifically for what happens, say the website goes down, the protocol goes down, do you lose your assets or would you retain your assets?
Okay, good clarifying question. Let me really dive into the what if scenarios, right? Okay, so according to the documentation, if the website goes down, your assets should remain safe because the core logic is within the smart contracts. However, and this is a big however, if the protocol itself malfunctions or there's a critical smart contract bug, then recovering those assets becomes complicated. They mentioned needing a governance vote to initiate an emergency recovery process, which introduces a whole nother level of dependency and potential delay. It's not a straightforward you always have access situation. Does that
Oh,
make sense?
it does. I appreciate it, Miles. All right. So I'm sure you all heard that. So do your own research. Miles isn't always 100%. Usually on things like that, he does really well. On numbers, not so much. But I'm going to do some more digging and I'll report back. But if I'm really hoping that they're non-custodial, um, this would be a great, great stables play. Just a
Hmm.
nice, easy 21%. I'll do that every day of the week, plus, Sunday. So yeah, because if it sounds like the only potential risk is either the protocol going down or a smart contract exploit, a malicious smart contract. So that do with
Hmm.
that as you will. But oh shit, Sack Nasty's in the house. It,
Oh,
it
sack.
it's nasty time. All right,
You been a nasty
let's
boy.
all right. So let's go here. So yeah, DeFi Llama. So it's been relatively quiet, but like I said, there's some of us earning what is the current looks like about 4 or 5,000% APR on that Avant USDC pool. So if you want to provide liquidity, obviously it's a ranged pool. And depending on the range that you pick is how high the APR or how low the APR is going to be. The narrower the range, the higher the APR. You know how it goes. But there is some really good yields out there. I mean, I'm still earning 283% on my full range USDC black pool. So, there's plays out there if you want. Me myself, those are the only two uh DeFi pools I'm really in. I mean, I have like some little bits of USDC, it's kind of like little placeholders, in some places.
Hmm.
And by a little bit, I mean like $100 here, $50 there, nothing major. I have almost everything out. I am really fingers crossed, hoping that tomorrow, or at least here in the next week or two, leading up to October, that we get some freaking parabolic fucking moves out of these alts. I just want. I'm telling you, I want to make my 5 to 10x, and I'm done. I'm out, and I'm in DeFi. I'm nothing but stable plays, and the yield that I earn from that is what I'm going to use to rebuild, and buy Bitcoin, and rebuild a DeFi portfolio, and but that's going to give me an extra, 3, 4, 5 grand a month that I can play with, just having those stables, that just ship me out, 15, 20% yield, per year. So,
Hmm.
it's I am not expecting, 100x, the 100x my money. I have what I feel is very realistic expectations based off of, past cycles. Everything everybody's, I've heard and seen and researched the past 5 years is, 5 to 10x. I mean, shit, I could have bought Bitcoin and gotten that. And maybe that's what I should have done, is just put all my money into Bitcoin through the bear market.
Hmm. Uh, Sack Nasty, it's in our DCA Discord in the general chat. Just scroll up and
I,
up
I,
and
I know, Ellie. I can't wait. I can't wait to sell either. I've been buying, but yeah, what was I gonna say? Oh man.
well, I don't have any plan. My only plans to take anything out aren't until November, December, because I'll be utilizing that for the 2 months that I'm required to take off work.
Oh yeah.
I'll be able to
No.
get, yeah, I'll be able to get some unemployment, but I'm building up my bags right now for that time, and I won't have to take out everything, but I'll just you know just take a weekly paycheck, and then
Yeah.
I won't have to take everything out, and thankfully, but yeah, I'm grateful that I've been able to learn all of this from you, Mike, and just it's really been powerful to not even just use the liquidity pool money to DCA back in. I mean,
Dude,
I have more than what I
that's
had
what
when I
hooked me.
started.
Well, dude, that's what hooked me with DeFi is, every month, whatever I didn't spend on bills and everything, I put it into crypto. And as soon as I started doing DeFi, I was making more money in, yield each month than I was putting in, out of pocket. And so I just stopped putting my pocket money into it and just started putting my yield into it. And it's added more crypto than, my extra money did. So I don't know.
Hmm.
Like I said, it just boggles my mind how more people aren't doing DeFi. I mean, there is super super easy DeFi plays that are super low risk, and there's
Hmm.
super complex ones. If you want to leverage your risk up and leverage your earning up, but you
The
don't have to
looping
do
and
those. Well, you don't have to do those crazy plays. I mean, you can,
mm-mm.
go. I mean, it's something as simple as your USDC on Coinbase. Freaking, you can earn 5%, almost 5% there, just by having USDC on Coinbase. You don't have to do anything. You just have it on Coinbase and you earn 5%.
Yeah.
Why the hell not? It's you know, there's a bunch of stuff launching on Coinbase and that already has. I mean, you can borrow against your Bitcoin on Coinbase. That's DeFi. You don't
Yep.
have to sell your Bitcoin. You can take out a loan against it and do a low leverage loan to make sure you don't get liquidated. Take like a 20% freaking loan to value. If you have $100,000, take out a $20,000 loan. if Bitcoin dips more than 80%, or 75%, we got bigger things to worry about, I think. I mean, the dollar, I mean, shit, what was it this past year? Like 11% inflation? It's like, holy shit. Anybody that goes to the
Oh,
grocery store, I mean, I used to spend like $100. I mean, I'd buy steaks and shit. And I spend $100 a week, at the grocery store. Now I go, it's like 200, 250, a week. It's like, holy shit.
shit. For what? Pretty much you or you and your lady too?
Oh, just me.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
mean, granted, I'm not buying mac and cheese and top ramen. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm
No,
I'm
no.
buying steaks and I'm buying whiskey. I'm buying,
Yeah. You're getting the
I'm
good
an
stuff.
adult man. I'm not a college student. It's, so yeah.
No, and you should be able to do that, man. You shouldn't have to be pigeonholed into just buying the cheapest shit, and that it's
Government
unfortunate. I mean,
cheese,
yeah, if you're in
powdered milk,
college,
and government cheese.
hey, I feel like that's kind of a rite of passage if you're college age and young, and
We've all
I did
been
that
there.
shit, and yeah,
Yeah,
you
we all
gotta
had.
you gotta earn your stripes.
Yeah, no, it's like I gave my stripes in the barracks, man. It's like you
The
gotta.
MRE.
Just living in the barracks. That's a fucking circus, man. All my veterans out there know what I'm talking about. But so yeah. I mean, in the chat, I mean, Jay, some Luis, some of you out there, throw in the chat what kind of give us an idea of what you're going to be doing with if the markets start pumping this week. What are you going to be doing with your when you start taking profits? I mean, do you guys have any ideas with buying real estate? Are you going to move into stables and DeFi? Are you going to buy a boat? Are you moving out of the country? I mean, like, what are some of you guys doing? I mean, we talk all the time in the Discord, and we joke about buying islands and boats and jets and stuff like that. But what are you really going to do? If you don't mind sharing, throw it up in the chat. I'd love to hear.
Mhm.
So Sack Nasty, I figure his is hookers and blow, but I'm going to sell and pay two strippers to give me a hug. I'm lonely. All right. That got a little depressing, Sack Nasty.
Oh,
But
I'll give you a hug. You don't have to pay me though, but the stripping might be included.
well, you said you're going to be out of work for 2 months, so
Hey. Oh, I was born in San Jose, California, and my mom and dad owned a mechanic shop for like 4 or 5 years in the 90s. And there was a big thing with the smog. There's smog and stuff, smog checks here, and I guess shops were doling out fake smog checks, and it was around my dad's birthday, and my mom hired a stripper cop for his birthday to come to the shop and do like a fake bust. Say, oh, we've got word that you were giving out fake smog checks and shit. And my dad was all freaked out. And then I guess they closed the doors and they turned the music on. And so when I was a kid, I saw a picture of this stripper in my dad's lap. I think I was like 10 years old. And I was like, Mom, what is this? And so they told me, I was like, God, you guys are hilarious. So yeah, I get
all
it.
right.
I get a lot of degen from my my family.
So Ellie
Oh,
gave me an idea. We need to figure out where Sack Nasty's at, and we need to order him a male stripper
ooh,
because she pointed out a good point that he didn't specify that he wanted to get female strippers. So we need to get him some male
ooh.
strippers and send them over, and they can give him a
Can
hug
I
and dance
can I get a little?
for him.
Ooh. There's a little body for you, Sack Nasty.
Oh, that's true. Who said
Oh.
Sack Nasty was a guy? I've always assumed. I don't.
Oh man.
All right. So
Yeah, true. That's true. We don't know if anybody's we just see the thumbnail, huh?
it's true. It's true. All right.
Oh.
What else we got going on here? So, do.
Were you doing RWA?
Yeah, I mean,
Go for it.
I can definitely bring up some RWA.xyz.
I know you said you were going
So
through some of the usuals.
yeah,
Usual
yeah.
suspects.
Um, so I didn't see anything in the news on RWA.xyz. Tokenized RWA market surpasses 30 billion as securitized leads on-chain asset movement. Alchemy Pay launches a fiat to RWA platform with Xstocks integration. If you don't know, Xstocks is, I believe it's the Ondo tokenization of the New York Stock Exchange. So they've started the process of tokenizing, the different stocks that are available on the New York Stock Exchange. So there's been a huge influx. Here, I'll just go there of liquidity into RWAs. I mean, you can see. I mean, for the longest time, it was pretty much trending, kind of trending sideways, just gradually building, and it's
Mm-hmm.
just been ramping up. I mean, this thing is just going like it's going to go straight freaking vertical here soon. So, yeah, we're up in 30 days, 10% in just 30 days. Um, you can see still Avalanche leading the charge in the past 30 days, up 133% as far as TVL. Yeah, just freaking, they're growing faster than Ethereum. It looks like Stellar, XRP Ledger, Arbitrum, BNB, and Avalanche are the top five. So a lot of but of course Ethereum is the 800-pound gorilla. Everyone's throwing something on there. Um, you got the largest growers are tokenized stocks. I mean, you scroll down and all of them are just, United Healthcare, Visa, Qualcomm, Boeing, Walmart, every, every stock that's available on the New York Stock Exchange, Ondo is tokenizing it. This is why, like Joshua Jake over on Discover Crypto, and myself and many others have been talking about Ondo. It's like, the price. Now, this is what really I think is boggling people's minds is, let's see, let me pull up Ondo real quick. And we're going to look at the price movement on Ondo because I know this is what's frustrating people is you see stuff like this. You see where freaking Ondo is tokenizing the entire New York Stock Exchange. In the bear market or last bull market, if you would have gotten news like this freaking project, this token would have like 10x'd over fucking night. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
this is huge news. Tokenizing the entire New York Stock Exchange. I mean, the amount of liquidity that is. I mean,
Shit.
is insane. Once they're done, it's going to be in the trillions of dollars.
Yeah.
I mean, it just boggles my mind. But then look at the price.
Crickets.
Look at the price.
Crickets.
I mean, barely. I mean, there's a slight uptrend, but you haven't seen any major pumps. Like this
Mm-mm.
is why I know those of you out there are so frustrated. I am too. But you know what? If you're not paying attention to price and you're looking at what is going on with regulation, with adoption, with onboarding of real world assets, onboarding of institutions, the building that's going on chain, just all the partnerships, with credit card companies and just everything that's going on with it. you know I don't see how somebody could be bearish. That's why when people are talking about, well, we could get a dump after the announcement tomorrow, and I don't care. I'm not selling. It's this is too big of a potential upside. This is too much of an opportunity to pass up. I mean, if it all goes to zero, you know what? So be it. The money that I put in, it's like blackjack to me. I put it out there. I've spent the last 5 years learning about this technology, having a great time. Started this channel. Met people like you, in our community, having a great
Mm-hmm.
time. This has been my entertainment for the most part. Living out in the woods. This is kind of my conduit to the outside world. So, but yeah, it's just I see way too much potential for these projects I'm holding. It's Plume. Go on the Plume portal. Look at what is being built out there. Over 200 different organizations are building RWA and DeFi, DApps or DEXs or just whatever on the Plume network. They are laser focused on RWAs and DeFi, which I think is going to be the dominating narrative for this bull cycle. I mean, it's
Dude.
when was the last time you heard somebody talk about gaming and that was excited about it? The crypto gaming or the metaverse.
Years ago.
Yeah,
Years ago.
you're always hearing about memes because there's always some meme that's making millionaires supposedly. But as far as narratives, what has everything been about when it comes to the news with regulation, when it comes to the news with things like the stock market being tokenized, just everything that's in the news, all the movements you see big money making, what they're buying, what they're building, what they're doing. It's all RWAs and DeFi, all of it. Fucking 95%, 90% of what's going on out there. It's not AI. I mean, there's plenty of AI stuff going on out there, but in crypto, it's DeFi and RWAs. I mean, let me know in the chat if I'm up in the night. If that's not what you're seeing, then I mean, I maybe I need to pay more attention.
Yeah. Luis said Ando's the one that's going to sky while we're napping.
Possibly.
Mm-hmm. If you're in it, you could nap just fine, feeling good.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it could be like Tesla sideways for 4 years, then boom.
But that's what I see happening. Once whatever they're doing, the over-the-counter buys, or whatever they're doing to not pump the markets, because that's what I keep hearing, is that these big institutions, they don't buy off centralized exchanges. They don't, they don't buy like we buy. They buy over-the-counter OTC. And when they do that, it doesn't move the markets, and they do that on purpose. It's an old trick, and it's to keep the price down. It's the same way that they've manipulated silver for decades. Is when they buy silver, they buy it over the counter. They don't buy it like we buy it. So yeah, I personally see at some point we're going to go up. Is it going to be next week? Is it going to be next month? Is it going to be next year? I don't have a crystal ball, and I'm not going to pretend. I'm not going to be one of those influencers that every week is. I'm going to say that we're pumping, and when we don't, I'm going to go back and erase my my posts. But I like it's just too me personally, I have very strong conviction. So I mean, what are your thoughts, man? I've been rambling on.
No, I've been thinking about how these real world assets will make it through different recessions. Kind of looking back on 2008, I know that was all like fabricated by the banks and stuff, and all those loans that they had. What the hell were they called? Those like AAA credited loans or the AA loans and stuff. I'm just wondering how future recessions will look with real estate and stuff on the blockchain, and how their value will hold up over time compared to just fiat, true ownership of assets, not just here, but in places like Africa, South America, where you have some countries that don't really have true ownership. People don't have their assets, or they get taken by the government. So I'm really interested to see how it will create a more robust finance ecosystem.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Start seeing more millionaires.
I'm with you, Jay. I'm tired of being patient too. It's like I got shit I got to do. Can we get this show on the road or go to zero so I can like make a new plan? It's like
You got building, man. You got to build.
Yeah, it's like pump or dump because I got either some building to do or I gotta freaking get hopping and popping on something because I'm not getting any younger. You know, I got
No.
stuff to I got a place I got to build out in Hawaii. I got more work I got to do here on the property. I got to
Mm-hmm.
I told my lady that I'm gonna build her a new house here on the property. So I got to get to work, man.
Ooh.
Let's see. So, what do we got? What do we got?
Just kind of freeballing today.
Oh
Sorry.
yeah. I just felt like jumping on, and it kind of seemed like that. The community and everybody out there is a little itchy. The day before the announcement, and the by now, historically, we should be freaking pumping by now. So I know everybody's kind of getting antsy, and so I figured we'd go on and chat a little bit. I mean, we can cut this off
We
whenever,
got a
but
nice we got a nice crew
yeah, no, we got like 400 or 500
today.
people watching live. So hey, actually, you know what? Since we got you all here, a captive audience, if you could do us a favor and go
Yep.
down to that little thumbs up and give us one of those little jimmy jabs. And if you don't mind, if you kind of like what we're what we're throwing down, if you could give us a follow, we'd appreciate it. And then if you really want to help us out, if you go over to pump.fun, buy some of our token and then just sell it really quick. I don't care. Just so we make fees.
Yeah, it all goes back to the community. We love helping everyone out, and
Oh,
it's,
that's all we're gonna do with it. That's all we're trying to do with it is just help build the channel.
hmm
We're not gonna get rich off of it or anything like that. It's like I said, the token I own $26 worth. It's I launched it all. Me and Jeff didn't keep any of it. So yeah, don't feel like that you need to go buy it, but at the same time, don't feel like it's going to get rugged. It is unruggable unless somebody goes in there right now and like buys it all. Then they're just
Oh
going to
yeah,
rug themselves though.
please don't
Um,
do that.
yeah, well, they just end up rugging themselves because there's only like maybe 10 people that bought any.
Uh, oh, I saw something about this Solana dev or dev on Solana that tried to rug his token from people, and he didn't have enough gas to pay. He got rugged by everyone.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, KTA's
Oh,
moving. Hold on. Let me see.
goes to show you, man, you just fucked yourself.
Let's see.
Oh
Somebody's
man,
saying KTA's moving.
Kita, 6%.
Really? I'm not seeing that.
It says 6% on since the day. Um,
Oh,
so the day
I'm
started
showing.
2 hours ago,
I'm,
and
I'm showing on the hour like 0.13%, and on 24-hour negative 0.14%.
oh yeah, on Trading View, I think it shows 6.48%, but it does it from when the daily resets. So the daily
Oh,
reset
gotcha. Oh, okay.
two
So I
hours
guess it
ago.
kind of matters where you're looking. I was over on Coin Market Cap, so
Yeah, yeah, they'll have the past 24 hours from right now, huh?
Dag's been showing some life. Constellation Dag. It's
Uh
it's
huh.
it's up 6% on the day and like 20% on the week.
Oh wow, I didn't know it. Realize it dipped under three like that. 3 cents.
Yeah, no, it's everything's beat down. Like I mean, I when I look at the markets, I mean, it just looks like everything is oversold. I mean, just bad. I just personally, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I think most people that were gonna get shook out of this market got shook out. I mean, I think pretty much everybody that's still here is people like me, you, and the people watching that are just like diehards. That we're just like we're riding it to zero or we're going to Valhalla. There's no in between. It's like it's one or the other. All right, what else we got
Yeah,
out?
I'm sticking it out, man.
All right, Sack
Oh,
Nasty's giving a shout out to Ellie. Let's see. Sack Nasty. How's your feet pick game?
Ooh. Oh.
Let's
My
see.
main, dang, Ellie, way to go. My main income. Dude, it's
Uh,
crazy. I mean, you can rate dudes on different things and they'll pay you for stuff like all kinds of crazy shit, man. My
hey, I'll
it's
be right back. I'm gonna grab a refill on my beverage.
get a little refill of your apple juice.
Yes, yes, because I would never on there.
No. Jay, the final dip.
Yeah,
Just make sure you bring some
it's like
chips with that.
I was waiting for this dip, and while I was waiting for this dip, another dip came along. Be
The
like, when I
dip.
dip, you dip, we dip.
But he ain't putting your hands up on your hip.
but when
So
I
it's
dip,
no fun.
but when I dip, you dip, we dip.
Oh man.
All right, we just dated ourselves, Jeff.
Yeah.
All right.
Dude, there was actually last weekend at one of the nightclubs nearby, they had a day party, right? That was it was like a 2000s, 90s party and it was for older people and it ended at 9 p.m. It went from like 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. and they were like for the older folks. I was like, that's my kind of party, man. Because come midnight when I'm at a show or something and I'm just like, I need to go home and go to bed. Because I usually have to drive from SF and it's like a 45-minute drive. And then I get home and it's like 2 a.m. Then I got to shower. I'm like, fuck, it's like 3 a.m. by the time I get to bed. so yeah, it's definitely love the early sleep schedule. The ADA holder still waiting for that dollar.
Dude, I don't and you know what?
Oh,
I could just like XRP. I could end up eating my hat or eating crow or whatever you want to whatever term you want to use. Because I'm always not I'm always trying to snap XRP people out of the
you've been going
the
hard on them, man.
well
I
the
see all your
mind loss.
comments. Yep.
Yeah, it's just it's like I try to just point out like simple facts, and it's like so cultish. But I mean ADA too. It's just I mean
Yeah.
what I know that it's a great tech, and a great community. It's nothing against the people. It's just what have they done? They missed the DeFi boat because of Hodgkinson or Charles. Um,
Oh,
it's
Hosky.
like he has this, and it's an honorable thing he's trying to do with the decentralization, but that boat has sailed. Crypto is
Mhm.
being adopted by institutions, banks, and governments. The whole decentralized utopia, for the most part, is dead. When it comes to, um, if you want to be a part of a project, that there's going to be TVL onboarded to it. Now, if Cardano becomes some sort of currency for people that want to hold to that decentralized model, Bitcoin and Cardano end up, being kind of that, big brother, little brother currency, that could be, that's something that could happen. But until Charles gets over the whole, decentralized thing, there's not going to be,
Mhm.
a whole lot of movement. It doesn't seem in Cardano. I
I was
don't know
gonna
much
say,
about Cardano though. I mean, by all means, I mean if you know something that's going on with it that's bullish, I mean, let me know. But I never hear anything.
yeah, I had deep bags of ADA back in 2022 and um, had a lot of NFTs that are worthless now. And it just kind of died out, man. I know they started they were trying to get some DeFi stuff going, but it wasn't anything really serious. And I mean, fuck, man. It's just sad.
Recently they started talking about there was some native Bitcoin talk where they were going to have native Bitcoin on on Cardano, and but it just kind of faded
Yep.
away. There was I just heard about it for like a week, and then all of a sudden it was crickets. And so, But again,
Yeah.
Cardano is one of those that I have not done a deep dive on. It's just there's nothing about it that I've seen that really interests me a whole lot.
When I
You know,
first got into
'cause
crypto
I'm
in
into deep.
2016, I heard about Cardano, and I was actually like really excited for it because of their plan and how they were rolling it out, and it was going to be like the next Ethereum, and here we are almost a decade later, and I can't believe that they just are stuck in the mud. I mean, I know that he's got this whole roadmap that the tech takes so long to develop, but
Mhm.
at some point, man, you just got to fucking pull the trigger. You got to break stuff. You got to go hard and break shit and
You got to yeet
fix it along the way
like
sometimes.
like Drew's always talking about. You got to yeet some shit. You know, you just got to
Yep.
fucking fucking huck. Go big or go home.
I thought you were gonna say you got a hawk too on that thing.
Yeah, you got a hot tour on that thing. The best thing about Cardano is the engagement farming. It's an easy way to get clicks and likes. Yeah, that's the same thing with XRP, Ellie. is
Paying them
I
all.
mean, there's some guys out there that they've built a whole online presence, and they're way bigger than us. That and
Hmm.
all they talk about, literally, the only project they talk about is XRP. And they say the same tired shit every fucking episode. I know because I watched them for like 3-4 years. Always talking about the switch is about to get flipped, and it's about to take over. XRP is about to take over the world and on board. Be the next world currency, and it's just like all of the different all the different things that you hear over and over and over and over. There's gonna be a $10,000 XRP because it can't be cheap because freaking the CTO said so, and it's just like, and the whole time Ripple's just dumping XRP on retail. I guess now, like they keep buying other companies. Now they're buying back their stock from early investors and employees. So yeah, it's like it's just been like this freaking endless like fountain of money for Ripple.
It's crazy. I mean, and they're paying these people pretty well, huh? Or some of these creators. But then again, how many of
I
these people have thousands, hundreds of thousands of followers, and
I'm not going to comment on that because I have no proof of that. I would not be
yeah,
surprised though if
yeah.
somebody came out with some proof that a bunch of these influencers were getting paid, to do nothing but shill XRP. Because I don't get it. Like, what is the major draw that makes XRP so special? I mean, it's been around, a long time, and it has like kind of a sexy narrative. But there's so many other projects out there that are actually further along than Ripple with doing cross border payments. Hell, Link just partnered with
Yep.
freaking Swift. Swift has all the customers, all the
Hmm.
banks, all the institutions, all the governments. They all use Swift. They partnered with Link to come up with a solution to modernize their cross border payment system. That totally blows Ripple out of the water. If they pull that off, there is no need for Ripple. The only thing Ripple would possibly be able to do with that is just like some little deals, here and there, and potentially, if the BRICS, where Russia, China, South Africa, Brazil, I think the UAE might have joined them, and Iran. And I think North Korea was talking about it. A couple others, but basically all the countries that are tired of the U.S. Imposing sanctions on them, because that's what they, economic warfare. It's what the U.S. does is they basically block them out of the world, economic system by basically not allowing them access to Swift. They all started BRICS, and so I could see them using Ripple for something like that. But if Ripple does that, they're not going to be able to integrate with anything that has to do with the U.S. dollar or Swift because they'll be in violation of international law. So
Haha.
you really have to think about this stuff when you're making your investments. I'm not trying to FUD your
Mhm.
project. I'm just trying to point out facts. This is how the world works. I had 40,000 XRP. I believed all the narratives. They launched RLUSD and USDC with two stable coins now on the XRP ledger, and they have RLUSD on ETH mainnet. You now have that vehicle for liquidity. The only use case for XRP now is for gas, which is 0.00001 XRP, or non-USD based assets. That's the only thing. And once there's other stable coins out there for other fiat currencies, there'll be no need for XRP because you'll be able to swap USDC for the British pound. It's I don't understand it.
Well, and it's good that you were in that space because you're like, hey, I was invested in this.
Oh
I
yeah.
had to
Oh,
make
I
a
was.
decision, So it's not like he's just saying this. He's talking out of his ass. He was in
No.
it. He believed in it. He had conviction, and then
The
things
way
changed. Don't be afraid.
the way that I am with DeFi is how I was with ISO 20022. I
Mm,
went deep for like 3 years, 4 years. I went deep on all the ISO tokens, XDC, XLM, HBAR, XRP, all the usual suspects. I went deep on all of them. But like I said, is as soon as I started seeing about RWAs and DeFi, and I saw that the fundamentals of XRP changed, with the addition of those stable coins like I talked about, and a global adoption, governments drafting legislation and signing shit into law. Then I had to change my thesis. I had to change my portfolio, my investments, because the environment changed. If you're not open to moving, I mean, you don't want to get fudded out of everything, but you need to be able to read the room. What is big money doing? You need to use analytics. And that's why I'm always showing RWA.xyz and DeFi Llama. You need to use these tools, these
mm-hmm.
free tools. I mean, this shit was unheard of back in the day. You should have to pay, tens of millions or hundreds of millions of dollars to have access to the kind of data that we have for free now. I mean, that's the great thing about crypto, is the transparency. You can see what
Yeah.
BlackRock's buying. You can see what big money is doing. All you have to do is do what big money's doing. They're not going to throw money away. If you see them buying something, buy it. If you see them selling something, sell it. It's that simple.
Mm-hmm.
You don't
And
need a crystal
Arkham,
ball.
no, Arkham, you can they do posts on Twitter showing BlackRock's wallets that will be buying and selling assets. So it's not like you don't have that transparency. I mean, other accounts are showing it for you. So, it's, and that's what I'm excited for once we get this government on the blockchain with all the payments and everything, the taxes
Oh,
and shit can be
you're talking about like the
transparent,
budget,
and
like get the
the
motherfucking
budgets
budget,
and
dude. Hell
yeah,
yeah,
get the motherfucking
voting,
budget.
dude. I want my taxes on the blockchain. I want to
Oh,
see what that shit's getting spent on, and I want voting
mm-hmm,
on the blockchain because I want to be able to audit that shit. I want to
mm-hmm.
be able to say each U.S. citizen got a vote, and that is it. And if even if the person that I don't want to win wins, at least I'll know that the majority of the country is a dumbass, in my opinion. They voted on the person I didn't want.
Well, and it was done with integrity and stuff, with
Yes,
more so than now, not hacked and
dude, I fought for this country for 22 years, and
dude.
all I want is it to function like it's supposed to function, even if I don't agree with it. I just
Mm-hmm.
want it to be run the way it's supposed to be run, and I want my tax dollars to be spent responsibly. Is that too much to ask?
Yeah,
It
yeah,
is.
and not be taken
It's too much
advantage
to
of.
ask.
The only time I want to be taken advantage of is if Ellie's in the room. So
All right, all right. Everybody in the chat, we're gonna shut down and leave Jeff and Ellie alone for a minute. All right.
well, I do have 4 pussies in the apartment. They're all cats though.
I got 2 that are lurking around here. One's asleep on the back of the couch, and I think the other one is like in the cabinet somewhere.
Oh, you have 2. I thought you just had 1 over there.
I have one, but I'm cat sitting my other daughter, my lady, her cat.
Oh, nice. They play well
So yeah,
together.
what's that?
They play well together.
They honestly they tolerate each other. It's
They
they
do-
you know how cats are. They're kind of catty.
yeah.
You know, they don't fight or anything like that. One's old and one's young, and they just kind of freaking. They each have their own window, and they each have their own couch, and you know they don't commingle food or anything like that. You know,
Okay. Oh man.
but yeah, no, it's like I always had dogs, and it's just such a pain in the ass. You know, whenever you want to freaking do anything like travel or something like that, it's just a pain in the
Hmm.
ass. It's maybe when I settle down more and I'm a little more static, I'll get a dog again. But
Yeah, that it is tough. I grew up with dogs, and when me and my ex had the house, we took in her aunt and uncle's husky, and man, I mean we had 3 dogs growing up, but it was different. I mean we had to clean up their shit and take care of them, but man, this was just a whole different thing. I much rather enjoy the cats because you can travel and stuff, and somebody can just come in a couple times a day and feed them, and you don't have to worry about boarding them up or taking them out on walks, and uh, so much easier if you are on the traveling side or out and about
absolutely,
more.
absolutely.
But I love all animals. All animals are fun.
All right. Well, let's keep going through this rwa.xyz real quick. So hey, I dropped the link to our pump.fun channel. If if you feel like it and you want to go over there and check it out, go ahead, give us a follow. Anything you can do to help us grow that would be much appreciated. So this is the stable coins. So I mean, you can see USDT. I mean, they're printing the shit out of USDT. USDC, the blue line down here, you can see. I mean, they're just printing the shit out of it too. I mean, here's the beginning of 2025. Actually, here, I think I can shrink it over. Hold on. There we go. I mean, you can see. I mean, it's just print, 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 print. And I know for every USDC, it has to be backed by either a actual U.S. dollar or a U.S. dollar equivalent, like like a U.S. Treasury. The word is eluding me right now. Has to
Hmm.
be backed by U.S. law, the Genius Act that they just passed and Trump signed into law. That ensures that for every stable coin printed, it basically what it used to be for the dollar with the gold standard. For every dollar that was in circulation, there had to be $1 worth of gold in Fort Knox back in the 70s, before we
Mm.
went off the gold standard. Then we went off
Mhm.
the gold standard. That's why you're seeing a lot of the issues that we're having with inflation is basically when the government needs money, they can just print money. They have an auction where they auction off, U.S. Treasuries, the bonds and stuff like that, and it's basically people buying the U.S. debt because everybody expects the U.S. being the largest economy in the world that we pay our debts to an extent. That's true, but they passed a law. And for every stablecoin to be compliant in the US, and I'm sure it's going to be this way around the world, it's going to have to be backed by something. And so USDC is one of those. And by proxy, PUSD, Plume stablecoin, is as well. And many others, but those are the two that are front of mind for me for obvious reasons. USDT, however, which is a large portion of crypto, it props up a large portion of crypto, is not as transparent. This is something I want to make everyone aware about there. Is USDT is potentially, not guaranteed, but potentially a house of cards. Because if it comes out that USDT is nothing but smoke and mirrors and that they're just printing USDT whenever they feel like it, and it's not backed by anything, potentially it could dump the markets hard because there is a lot of centralized exchanges out there that operate on nothing but USDT. So there's a lot of liquidity out there hanging on, the coat rack of USDT. That's something to keep in mind.
Which one's has USDT overtaken USDC, or is USDC still the?
Oh no, USDT is freaking has always had
Always okay.
USDC in the dust. Well, I mean,
Okay.
you can see on the chart. So like if I scroll
Okay.
back
Yeah.
to 2017, I mean, look, the
Oh
green
shit.
is USDT, and the dark blue is USDC. So I mean, USDT is like fucking, probably, I don't know, 70% of the market at least.
Shit. And there was so much FUD about it just collapsing over
Well,
the
it
years too.
USDC and USDT depegged.
Yeah.
USDC depegged down to 80 cents at one point. I talked about it the other day when I was talking about my stablecoin plans. As I start DCAing out, if we ever get an alt season, I'm not going to probably take more than a 50% loan to value on any looping that I do, DeFi looping, or anything like that, just because I want to be 100% or 99.9% sure that, if something depegs, that I don't get liquidated. If I end up making
Mm.
my $400,000 or $500,000, and that I'm gonna just have in stables that print me $4,000 or $5,000 a month of extra money, and that's just guaranteed for the rest of my life. As long as the dollar stays somewhat strong, and DeFi keeps on paying out 10 to 20% on stables, and then in looping, being able to loop up to 40% or more, if I need to. But yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know,
Uh,
man.
Speaking of depegging, not anything
Yeah,
sarcastic, Ellie.
calm down, Smack Nasty. Calm down, Ellie. We're not
Let
talking
me
about pegging. All
let me pull
right.
this up real quick. So this project, I just saw this earlier today. Yala, it's a liquidity layer to unlock Bitcoin's untapped yield across DeFi and RWAs. They had published a post-mortem report from, I guess, their September 14th incident. And this is a project that launched mainnet just this year. But I guess they have, let me see.
Hey,
So their
real
stablecoin
quick.
depegged.
Hey, real quick, Jeff. I just looked at the viewers. We have like hundreds and hundreds of people on X watching us. If you guys
Oh,
want to
shit.
join the conversation, jump over to YouTube and jump in the
Yeah.
chat. We would love to have you in the chat. One, it helps us grow the channel. I won't lie. But two, with this many people in here, I know that some of you have questions, or you're wondering
Mhm.
about what's going on in crypto, or you have some DeFi questions or airdrop questions. Come over here to YouTube, join
Right
the
here.
chat, and ask us. I mean, we're just hanging out. I'm getting drunk, obviously, and
Jay said he's feeling good.
Jeff is disturbingly sober right now. But I know that Jay.
I'm eating my veggie.
Okay. You're veggie high.
I
All
got my
right,
green right here.
all right. Well, you eat your green. So yeah.
um,
Anyway, go ahead.
yeah, right
Sorry.
here, DeFi, crypto, and airdrop. So check us out. You can jump in the chat. I know that X has issues with the chat. You have to have certain requirements and all that bullshit. But yeah, so come on over. Come have some fun. But yeah, Yala. So I guess there was something happened with, let's see. So a breach resulted in an unauthorized transfer of funds. However, the situation's fully contained and under control. They've identified the stolen assets on chain and actively working with law enforcement to pursue recovery. So, full liquidity assurance, all drained pools will be completely replenished, ensuring every user can redeem YU is their stablecoin 1-for-1 for USDC. And their transparency, then the next 48 hours, they'll publish a clear roadmap for liquidity restoration and enhanced system security. On a positive note, all Bitcoin funds remain completely secure, and the YALA protocol continues to generate strong revenue, approximately $750K per month, 9.17 million annually, and there's DeFi Llama, protocol fees, YALA. And so they did have a post-mortem that they published today, and I mean, this is exactly what you want to see. If a project gets compromised or something happens, you want to see this full transparency. None of this fucking tiptoeing around, hiding shit. You know, you want them to come out and be like, hey, this is what happened. This is what we did to fix it and are doing. And yeah, full liquidity will be restored and YU will return to its peg on September 23rd. So their commitment, transparency, accountability, and making every user whole. So if your projects aren't going to be doing shit like this, get out. Get out. And what was it we were talking about the other day? The project we were covering that will audit itself. Noya.
Yeah, dude, we talk about so many freaking projects.
Yeah, Noya. They are, the system is able to audit itself and make sure that, and not just that, but other projects to make sure that if they have been hacked, it's either one time or no times, and they do vulnerability checks and security checks. So the more of these tools that are implemented in the blockchain and these networks, the better, because people are going to be ramping up these attacks, like the NPM attack recently that had everyone fucking spooked for and nobody wanted to make any transactions. So,
well, if you're there we go.
What's up?
All right, no. So, if you're interested, over on our channel, like what he's talking about is Noya AI. It's basically an omni-chain liquidity, freaking project, but actually super freaking interesting. But if you want to check out some of our past episodes, we've called a surprisingly good number of profitable projects or solid projects that have earned really well in DeFi, and I think some of them have already, but others are going to do really well when it comes to alt season. When alts start to pump. So anyway, just wanted to point that out.
Oh no, that's good. I just kind of wanted to bring up that Yala thing, talking about depegging, because yeah, that's a
once
an
you've been
important
pegged,
thing to know.
Once you've been pegged, you can't be pegged.
One of my friends was telling our other friend, he's like, Josie, just the tip, man, just
just for a minute,
like, no.
just to see how it feels.
Oh man!
All right.
Back to the
what
high
else
school
we
days.
got going
on?
Throw it in the chat. If anything that you guys want us to talk about, or like any questions you have, throw it in the chat. Because, like I said, I'm just having some drinks and hanging out with y'all. This is a very informal episode. I'm just kind of going through the news and seeing what's going on. And actually, you know what? Let me bring up. I'll bring up Miles.
Shit. Whoa! Look at this plume. Damn.
What?
It's 12 cents. It was under 12 cents, and it just had this spike. The fuck?
The hell? What the hell?
I don't know. Bitcoin's pumping though. On the minute. We got a little pump.
On the minute.
3 minute. We got a little pump.
A little baby pump.
That was that wick to 13 cents. What the fuck?
Let me know if you can
Maybe
hear
people
Miles.
trying to get their liquidity before
Hey,
tomorrow.
Miles. So we're still live, with Jeff and the crew, and we're looking at the markets, and right now everything is relatively flat, but with Jerome Powell coming out tomorrow at 2:30 Eastern time, he's supposed to be announcing rate cuts. Can you look across social media and the internet and just kind of give us an idea of what the general feeling is for what's going to happen and how it's going to affect the crypto markets specifically?
I don't hear him. Oh,
You can.
Okay, let me dive into the
oh, there you
right. Okay, so the general feeling,
You can hear him.
it's pretty split. Yeah, loud and clear. Sorry, just making sure. Sometimes these streams can be a little wonky. Okay, so back to Powell. The consensus seems to be leaning towards a dovish tone, meaning people are expecting him to signal potential rate cuts down the line, even if he doesn't announce anything concrete tomorrow. Across X and on crypto-focused Discord servers, there's a lot of chatter about a risk-on scenario if he sounds even remotely optimistic. Specifically for crypto, Bitcoin is being positioned as a potential beneficiary. A lot of folks are talking about it as a non-correlated asset that could benefit from a weaker dollar and lower rates. Altcoins are more mixed, perhaps. No, it's based, and there's some excitement around layer 2 solutions and DeFi plays potentially getting a boost, but also a lot of caution about which alts are actually positioned to benefit long term. It's
Hey,
the usual
actually,
mix of hype
Miles,
and
one,
skepticism.
could you speak up? And two, let's shift the conversation. So, yesterday at Basecamp, um, Coinbase came out and made an announcement that potentially they're going to be launching a base token. Can you talk a little bit about the news that came out, some details about that, but also maybe let's start peeling back the layers on how potentially that could affect Aerodrome, because a lot of us are invested in Aerodrome, and it has been the de facto token to invest in the base chain, since it is around 60% of the volume that happens on base chain. So how could that affect Aerodrome's value and market share?
Okay, definitely. And sorry about the volume adjusting now. Hope that's better for Jeff and the crew. Right, the
go. Hmm.
base token announcement. Yeah, that's kind of huge, isn't it? Okay, so Coinbase officially revealed plans for the Base Ecosystem Fund and, crucially, a token. Base that'll be used for governance and eventually, potentially, for things like sequencing priority on the chain. They're airdropping it to active users, which is generating a ton of buzz. Obviously, a lot of discussion around eligibility requirements, and people are furiously checking their transaction histories. Now, how that
Yep.
impacts Aerodrome, that's the tricky part. You're right to point out that Aerodrome has been the go-to for base exposure. 60% of volume is no joke. A native token changes things. It introduces a direct competitor for attention and capital. I'm seeing a lot of speculation that Base could siphon liquidity away from Aerodrome, especially if it gains significant utility. Beyond just governance, it could also dilute the value proposition of owning an Aero if people feel they can get equivalent exposure to the Base ecosystem with the new token. However, and this is where it gets interesting, a rising tide lifts all boats. More activity on Base, driven by the token airdrop, is likely to benefit the entire ecosystem, including airdrop. Plus, airdrop Jettis Beaton has a strong position and a loyal community. It's not going to disappear overnight. A lot will depend on how Coinbase rolls out the token's utility and how Airdrome responds. They'll need to innovate, potentially integrate Base into their protocols, or focus on differentiating themselves with unique features. It's a bit of a chess match, really.
Hmm.
All right. So no, that's interesting, because that's something I've been wondering about, is potentially how, if they do launch a token, how that's going to affect Aerodrome directly, because that's what the narrative
Yeah.
has been so far, is with no base token, how do you invest in the base network? And up until recently, and could be in the future, but we have to be realistic. I mean, everyone that watches the show knows Arrow is my largest holding. I'm massively bullish on Arrow. But back to the XRP topic, you have to be critical of your investments. You have to be more
Mhm.
critical of your investments than things you're not invested in, because you have a vested interest. You've injected liquidity into these projects. You need to know the nuances. You need to know how it's evolving. You need to know what's going on with these, and you need to be your own biggest critic. you know
Mhm.
you don't want to fudge yourself out of the project, but you need to be realistic. You can't just only seek out confirmation bias, to where you only seek out you know uh, you know sources of information that reinforce how you feel about the project you're invested in. I actually, personally, I'll go out and find people that hate the shit out of my project. That's one of the reasons why on social media I'm always pointing out a lot of the downside to projects, because everybody's always talking about the upside of everything. I'm not trying to FUD people on these projects. I'm trying to just be the opposing voice. I'm not saying it's a bad project.
Mhm.
You're going to make money in XRP. I promise you that. It's probably not going to be $1,000 per XRP or $10,000 per XRP, but you're probably 2 or 3x from here. You're going to make money. Don't get me wrong, but you have to be critical. If something fundamentally changes about your project, you have to be realistic about it. Otherwise, you're going to be exit liquidity for the people that are logical and that look at data and they look at analytics and they adjust accordingly. It's a game of musical chairs. Any kind of investing is a game of musical chairs. When the happy go lucky music is going and everybody's making money, there's everyone's up and dancing. As soon as the music starts to die down and the excitement starts to die down, people start taking seats. As the night goes on and people get drunker and they get more tired, they start sitting down. Next thing you know, you look around and your drunk ass is the only one without a seat and no one else is dancing. Congratulations. You're the exit liquidity.
You're
And you're not going to know until you look at until it just a switch is going to go off, and you're going to realize that you have a bunch of tokens and no liquidity.
and you're gonna be standing in the corner with a nice pointy hat. It says
Exactly.
"dunce" on it.
And like I said, I mean, I say it from a place of love. I'm not. I want everyone out there to get rich. The hard, cold truth is, you're not all going to get rich. I might not get rich. I include myself in my statements, but there is ways that you can mitigate the risk that you are taking in crypto, in DeFi, in trading. I don't know a ton about trading, but Drew, over at Blockchain Basement and Discover Crypto, he's actually gotten to where he's pretty damn good at it. I know when
Hmm.
I first started watching him years ago, he kind of dabbled in it, really didn't, get into it too much. He was just all about finding good projects. But he's more successful than he's making more money than he's losing. I'll put it that way. And then you got people like DZ and Joshua Jake that are always in the Discord that are helping people out. You got TJ, over at Discover Crypto, that's doing portfolio reviews with people. So, by all means, please, go over there and join the free Discord over there. I pop in from time to time. I tend to focus more on the DCA Discord nowadays. Um, but yeah, it's just we really just need to understand, and maybe I'll start using this to kind of wind down the show, but we really need to understand that how the crypto industry is evolving. Those of you that have been around, and I say you because I've only been around for this past, the end of the last bear market, the whole or bull market, the whole bear market, and now this bull market so far. Um, I'm not as experienced as some of you out there. and you're more knowledgeable. But what I see is a massive shift. And I'll keep saying this. I know I say it all the time, but I want to drive this point home. We are moving from a speculative market where retail reigns supreme. People still do it. I see influencers still doing it that have millions of followers. They'll talk about retail isn't here yet. Retail isn't here yet. Retail is no longer at the in the driver's seat. Institutions, governments, banks, they have trillions upon trillions. They're single entities. BlackRock by themselves has more assets under management than the entire crypto market. Retail doesn't drive shit anymore. Let me say that again for those in the back.
Damn.
Retail doesn't drive shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's institutions. Now that this legislation is being passed, look at the markets. They're manipulating the shit out of it. They're buying OTC, keeping prices down, and stacking. If you don't see that, you need to pay more attention. You cannot be lazy. The lazy investor is exit liquidity. Join a community.
Yes.
This is my closing thoughts. Join a community. Find good, solid channels that are going to be honest with you.
Oh, oh no.
It just means that it's something you don't want to hear. We're all adults here, and you need to understand how these markets move and what moves them and how that evolves. And retail is not steering the crypto market anymore. The sooner that you understand that before other people, the more that you're going to profit over those other people. Jeff, take your time, no rush. I'm gonna sit back and enjoy my drink. I've talked enough.
No, and I just want to highlight a great point that you made is seek out differing opinions from you that might be against your project and stuff. There's definitely been some things that I've been all about wholehearted for that have just failed and eaten shit. That doesn't mean the project's dead, but it's there are times where they struggle, and don't be afraid to keep your convictions, but also don't be afraid to move into something else if it's necessary. Like with DeFi liquidity pools or just regular bags, like Mike did with XRP. I've done it with other assets, so just don't hold it all to the ground just because you think XRP is going to 1,000. So it's always great to seek differing opinions and challenge yourself because it helps you grow. And it gives you a different perspective too. Like I was saying yesterday during the show, when I went and met with my aunt and uncle, and our political views were very different, but I asked questions. I'm not attacking them or anything, and just asking like, oh, well, what about this? And how does that express into this other topic? Just kind of lead them, but don't force them, and just do it from a good place, a good heart. Because if you do anything with malice or ill intention, it'll show, no matter what, whether it's your tone or body language.
That's the whole point of malice and hate. Make that shit show.
Oh yeah, hey, on the battlefield,
Yeah.
we leave it all out, man.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, and
start throwing bows.
just throw bows on them, throw them bows. But yeah, just a lot of great stuff, and find a good community. Like Mike said, we've been able to just accrue such an awesome group of people, and more just keep piling in. And it's because we do this with integrity and good intentions, and we're not out there shilling tokens or shilling projects. We're just, hey, this is what we think. We do the full deep dive, and even Mike and I have kind of gone back and forth like, oh, this, it doesn't look great, but let's just explore and see what it is. We've never once said to each other like, no, fuck you, we're not going to cover that.
Oh, no,
But
no.
yeah,
But
so it's,
well, and one thing, if you haven't learned about me yet, is I'll say it how I see it. It doesn't mean I'm
mhm,
right, but I'm going to be honest about how I see things or how I feel about things. Again, it doesn't mean I'm right, and I'm more than happy to have a conversation about it. Most of the stuff I say about projects, I'm inviting people. I've even invited some people that got super passionate about, like when I'm going back and forth with them about XRP. I'm like, come on the show. I'll have an open debate with you, a
yeah,
good friendly debate, talking about the facts of, hey, and you know what? If I'm wrong and you can show that I'm wrong, absolutely. Yeah, I'll admit it. I am not above being wrong. It's
mhm.
happened more than once, believe
There's
it or
great
not.
power in that, man. There's great power in that.
Yeah. It's
Humble, humble pie.
I want to be proven wrong. It means that I learned something. If I'm proven
Mhm,
wrong, it means I learned something. That's a good thing.
mhm.
It's we should all strive to be wrong. It opens you up, it humbles you to better understand that you don't know everything. And nobody does. I don't care how intelligent somebody is. There is some topic that they're not knowledgeable on that they can learn something. It's you should always be seeking to expand your knowledge on anything and everything that interests you, and even some things that don't. It's as
Yeah.
soon as you think you know everything, you failed, in my opinion. But
Because you'll
anyway,
definitely learn something from the stuff that you're not interested in. Because I always seem to find some nuggets and stuff like that. There's always something you'll learn out of every situation and experience. So don't be closed off and don't be afraid to be vulnerable. If somebody challenges you, just say, hey, it might feel uncomfortable. It'll more than likely feel uncomfortable, but hey, we all get through that. Whether you like it or not, we'll be in uncomfortable situations throughout the rest of our life. But if you can just find a way to navigate that in a healthy way, hey, you'll be better for it. And there's the pump.fun.
all right. So yeah, no, I mean I dropped the link if you're so inclined. Like I said, full disclosure, we appreciate all of you being here. Again, this was super informal. Obviously, I'm drinking, apple juice or grape juice, and but yeah, just if you wouldn't mind, at least go over to pump.fun and follow us there. We're trying to grow our presence. Full disclosure, if you buy and sell the token, I don't care if you buy and hold it. We're not going to try to make it something, where it's going to be a community and we're going to build some DeFi protocol. It's nothing like that. If you want to just, like buy a couple bucks and sell it and see if you can make a little bit of money off it, cool. If not, that's cool too. I never want any of you out there to think that you know we're trying to take advantage of people. We don't own the only tokens I own $26 worth that I bought after the launch. We didn't keep any of the tokens during the token generation event. All the tokens are in circulation. So, but if you want to help out the channel, if you could go and buy some and sell it, I don't care if you sell it immediately. We make money off of the transaction fees or the swapping fees and stuff like that. So, yeah, it just helps out. But anyway,
Mhm.
you got anything else, Jeff?
No, I just responded to Timothy. How do we feel about black? And I just said it really depends on your entry and situation. And I mean, I'm sticking in my full range. I got in around a
I got
dollar
it.
or so, and I'm still profitable. So, and right now, I mean, it's looking pretty good for where it's at.
Your cat's like going nuts.
Oh, that's my whiny. I have one boy cat. He's a black cat, and he's the whiniest of them all. He is the whiniest, man. That's why when I was at the music festival, I got this hat pin. Oh, there we go, zooming in.
Yeah,
Um,
there you go.
this thing is like, I hate this thing. What? Zoom out, zoom out. I guess it's stuck. But
All right.
so the hat pin is a black cat that says the Empress, and it's got a crown on it, and that's my little whiny boy, my Keef.
There you go. So
But
as far as black, I'm still very bullish on it. It's BE 333, just like Arrow. It's a major dex on Avalanche, which as you saw on RWA.xyz, as RWAs, massive growth in the past 30 days. Avalanche isn't a fly by night. It's a blue chip. Um, personally, I'm not saying run out and buy a bunch of it. Do your own research. I have about $1,600 worth. I started with $800. I've been earning at first a couple of 1,000%. It's down to about 300% APR, but I'm earning about $13 a day on my $1,600. Again, started with 800. I've doubled my money so far. If it goes back just to its all-time highs, I mean, it just barely launched like a couple months ago. If it
yeah,
just goes back to its all-time highs, if we ever get an alt season, I'll have $8,000 from my $800. I'll 10x just from price appreciation and DeFiing it in a full range pool that doesn't go out of range. I mean,
yeah.
an
The full
$800
range is
gamble.
killer.
Yeah, I mean it's a no-brainer for me. I mean, if it starts getting to where it starts to get towards like 100% APR, I might start thinking about exiting the position. Because it shows that there's less of an interest. There's not a lot of swapping going on and things like that. So if fees start dropping, if APR stops dropping, I might think about rotating out of it. But to be honest, I don't see that happening. So that's my 2 cents.
Yep. That's all I got, man.
All right. Well, I appreciate you, Jeff, and I definitely appreciate that.
Yep.
Oh hell, man, we got like 600-700 people watching live across all the
So,
different
so awesome,
media.
man.
I appreciate y'all, and if you could please, again, I know it we haven't monetized in any way whatsoever. If you could at least like the stream, come over to YouTube, follow us.
hmm
That's not much to ask for the hours and hours and hours that we put into doing these shows, getting ready for these shows, the money that we spend for the streaming software. We don't monetize anything. We don't ask for super chats. We don't ask for shit. If you could just help us grow the channel, we would greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep, yep. And yep, right here, DeFi Crypto and Airdrop on YouTube. Check us
And,
out.
and until next time,